I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
The three ninjas are back.
Rock!
But this time,
Let's have some fun.
We think somebody's taking over the park. Maybe ninjas.
they're going to need some help.
Teamwork! One ninja stew coming up.
Three Ninjas, High Noon at Mega Mountain, Saturday at 8 on E!
I hate to say this is a bad movie, but it's still not as bad as Pocket Ninjas. And that's the only praise I can give this piece of fucking trash. So there's another Patreon request for Johnny. Thank you so much. If anyone ever wants to request any type of videos or reviews, you can do so by joining my Patreon or sending it directly via my PayPal, the request. Now, I've been reviewing the Three Ninjas films. The first one I saw as a kid, I liked it. As an adult, I still don't mind the film. I liked it. Tip back, step down, time waster. The next one, which was supposed to be the second film, but it became the third film, Knuckle Up. But that's still a masterpiece compared to this. This was a chore. This was just a fucking chore. Why? Even the other films, at least you had one of the kids from the first movie. Like Colt. I forget the actor's name. He played the middle kid, Colt, which I don't mind him. You have nobody, none of the three kids in this. But then just made me go, then why the fuck even make this movie in the first place if you can't even have the three? And also, were those sequels even hits? Did they really make that much money that they thought, okay, the last one's 95, here's 1998, here's another Three Ninjas. Did they... Were they big Veach at guess this one wasn't, because they didn't do any more. And weirdly enough, of all the Three Ninjas movies, this is the one with the biggest cast in a weird way, because you have Hulk Hogan and Jim Varney, and even, well, she's not really a known person, but Lonnie Anderson, pretty much most famous to being Burt Reynolds' wife, and then the divorce they had. So, first off, say what you will about the acting of the kids in the previous films, they're way better than the three kids in this. Now, granted, they're not as awful as the kids in Pocket Ninjas, but this was abysmal acting by the three kids. This movie's even goofier than anything in the previous movies. The kid who plays Tum Tum, they couldn't even get a kid with the same fucking hair color. it's a dark-haired kid. Now they have some fucking like blonde kid as Tum Tum. That just shows, wow, no one really gave a fuck. And wow, these actors suck ass. Well, they're kids. Hey, the kids in the first movie were alright. This is around the time you had kids like Macaulay Culkin and Elijah Wood. Hell, they did a film, The Good Son. That was a pretty good movie. There is such a thing as good kid actors and bad kid actors. They were bad. Either directed poorly or they just act like shit. And the Tum Tum, he seems like someone who would be the director's kid. Like if you found out this was the son of the director, you wouldn't be fucking surprised. Because he was the worst of the three. Fucking Drywall's better acting. Well, I don't mean... Oh, I guess you can take it personally, but I'm just calling it like I see it. If you think it's great acting, good. So, they have this obstacle course. Victor Wong is barely in this film. It's almost as if you blink, you miss him. And this obstacle course, their dad's still working for the FBI like he was in the first movie. Tum Tum is watching a show, and his show is getting canceled. His show that he loves, I should say, which starred Hulk Hogan. He plays a character that was part... He wears, I swear, it's like an S&M gear. Like a kid version of an S&M gear. Imagine that. If kids got into S&M, this is the gear they'd be wearing. And his character's name is Dave Dragon. And he's in this show that looks like a shitty Power Ranger show. And he has the way of the closed fist. I'm like, great. Give me another image of being fist fucked. I already died with this movie. Way of the closed fist. How about the way of the bird? And fly away. Jim Varney. I miss Jim Varney. I liked Jim Varney a lot in the Ernest movies. He can't do much with this. I mean, Jim Varney has energy. He's not sleepwalking. But you have a pile of feces. What you don't do with it? It's still feces. So him and his crew attack the theme park Mega Mountain. The whole point is to get the people as hostages and get a ransom of $10 million. And it's led by Lonnie Anderson, who, again, is most famous for being Burt Reynolds' wife. And she pretty much stole Pamela Anderson's outfit from Barbed Wire. Remember Pamela Anderson's outfit in Barbed Wire? She fucking stole it and wore it for this. So the bad guys, they go with jet skis and they go through these tunnels just to get into the park, and they're in the park with normal clothes on. And this might sound stupid, but part of me went, why the fuck didn't they just buy tickets? I mean, it's been a while since I've been to a theme park, but I don't remember them frisking you when you go into a theme park. So really, you just go in, buy your fucking ticket. Probably would have cost less than all the shit you just went through. I just went in. I didn't. Maybe I'm being weird on that. So while at that theme park, these bad guys taking over it, Hulk Hogan is there because his wannabe Power Ranger shit. They're doing this last theme for the show, and Hulk Hogan is barely in the film. First off, Hulk Hogan is not a great actor. I like Suburban Commando. I reviewed that on here. I have fun with that movie. Here, even if you watch for Hulk Hogan, he's barely in it, and he barely does anything because most of the time he either gets tranquilized or beaten up. And once again, even with 3 brand new actors as the Three Ninjas. They're still told every time they hit someone, hiya, hiya, hiya. That's with every fucking Three Ninjas movie. For some reason, they got in their crawl. Even with different actors and directors and writers of every of the, they still, hey, when you fight, hiya, 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 hiya. Every fucking installment of this series. Why? Like, they thought that was their motif. That was their calling card. Anytime they hit someone, they go hiya. Saya fucking Nara, pal. But fire, 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 fire. Okay, I said fire to this movie? Oh my god, man. It's just, this movie... The 3 kids really was a factor of making it hard to sift through the film. Some of them are not horrible in their martial arts, but at the same time, I could just go watch the previous ones. That the whole park Die Hard thing maybe could have worked, but they always fucked up. They fucked up in Beverly Hills Cop 3. They fucked up in this, and yet, wow. Okay, that's one thing. I could give Beverly Hills Cop 3. It's a better movie than this. I'm trying to remember what the fuck happened. The kids find Hulk Hogan. They wake him up. This is one girl they know that has all these props because her dad works in movies. So she has a yo-yo with blades and plane cars are ninja stars and smoke bombs and drones, like little planes. How fucking convenient. Oh, she's also a hacker. She has such computers to stop the rise from being dangerous. And why? What is it with these Three Ninjas films? There always has to be 3 knuckleheads that chase after the kids. Does that one thing I completely forgot about Three Ninjas Kickback is the 3 knuckleheads that chase the kids. I completely forgot about that part. And you had 3 knuckleheads in the first movie. They have 3 yet again who are the nephews of Lonnie Anderson's. Why do they need to do that? And everyone, well, they didn't do it in Knuckle Up. But like, they always have to have these three idiots. Is that the same 3 it is? There's 3 different ones. And one of them steers this kid, and this kid's like a wannabe Jake Busey. Like, imagine if Jake Busey was 12, 13 years old and is a wannabe. This kid wants to be Jake Busey, that's this kid, and he pisses his pants. Right, just like me when I'm watching this. Hulk Hogan, he doesn't really do anything. Jim Varney, I think he's underused. You could have just had him being the villain. You didn't need Lonnie Anderson and her fucking drywall acting. I don't know why I keep thinking drywall for everything. Okay, her acting is akin of a wallpaper. She just fucking sucks. And she's not that sexy. I mean, she's not even a MILF sexy. More filth sexy. As in, if I think you have filth. No, sorry, I gotta get the image out of my head. Oh, she's not that bad. She's not that good either. So I don't know why they had to give her the skin tight Pamela Anderson barbed wire gear. But yeah, Jim Varney, just have him be the villain. He's underused. Hulk Hogan doesn't do much except get his ass kicked. The kids fight, and I don't give a shit, because I don't give a shit about these kids. I don't even have the novelty of, oh, they're the same kids, or at least one of them is the kid from the first film. So even that novelty is gone. It felt much more cartoonish. It felt much more as if it was a live action. Like if this was a episode of a show placed on a Saturday morning cartoon lineup, and sometimes in those lineups they have a live action show mixed in there, and this would be one of them. It's felt, again, even more cartoonish than the previous ones, even more dumbed down, even for smaller, younger kids. And you even have a couple hints of bad CGI. This drone hits this bag of money the bad guys are trying to get, and that's a bad effect of CG, and the crowd's collecting the money, and the bad guys trying to leave, and they get this dirty girl who is with the kids, and the kids get this bomb, and they do what remind me of Star Trek 6. Remember Star Trek 6 when they got it and they turned the bomb into a torpedo? That's what they do here. And Hogan, thankfully he's there to hit the fucking thing, and the torpedo launches, flies through the water, hits the bad guy's boat, they jump off. And it just, all the makings of inept property that I'm sorry, in 1998, no one was yelling for another Three Ninjas film. By this point, it had run its course. And then the fact that you don't have any of the original Three Ninjas in there made it even more pointless. I thought this would be a continuing adventure of movies, series of movies of adventures where, hey, if the kids get old enough, we'll just replace them with another group of 3 kids. But again, of all the movies, these 3 kids are the worst actors in all of these Three Ninja films. Like I said, Hogan has nothing to do. When he does do something, his doubles are very fucking obvious. At times he wears a fake looking toupee. He even takes it off at one point, and he looks better without it. But then he puts it back on, it looks goofy. And again, his double's really fucking obvious. You have effects on the computer screens from time to time that are embarrassingly cheap. Embarrassing is horrible jokes. Yeah, nice face. Not. You're not fucking Wayne's World. Shut up. Shut up. I don't give a fuck about the plot. I mean, a Die Hard and amusement park, maybe that's just not in its cards to ever work. Because movies that attempt it, they don't work out for some reason. Well, there is a reason. I've said the reasons in this. Just like I had said in my rant in Beverly Hills Cop 3. Because they were bad movies. So if the acting sucks, Hogan's pretty much worthless, Jim Varney's underused, Lonnie Anderson is a block of fucking... of less interest in this fucking lamp I'm looking at. The Victor Wong, a blink and you miss a cameo, pretty much. Just everything just feels so much more cartoonish, so much more low budget, so much more silly, goofy, stupid, poorly acted, incompetently directed crap. Utter bullshit. Sorry, I guess not me a yelling rant, more of just a tired fucking shitty bored rant. Just go watch the first Three Ninjas, the international cut, which is on YouTube for free. Fuck this movie. This movie fucking... Is it one of the worst movies ever? Well, I did see Pocket Ninjas. So... as bad as this movie is, still not as bad as Pocket Ninjas. But to me, it is easily the worst Three Ninjas film. You don't even have the kid who played Colt in the first 3 movies. And he came back for all 3 of those movies. I forget the actor's name, but yeah. See you guys later. Bye-bye.